During periods of anxiety and stress, there are changes that happen in the mind as well as in the body. The most advanced way of taking care of both mind and body is through the practice of meditation, transcendental meditation, which allows the mind to settle down and then the body follows. So for those who practice transcendental meditation, very shortly we will start practicing together. However, for those who don't practice transcendental meditation, and even for those who practice transcendental meditation that have joined us today, we will go through some simple exercises that are very important to prepare for the meditation. And for those who don't have a way of practicing meditation, I will guide the situation, I will guide this meditation period simply and through certain simple steps. It is very important to understand a few intellectual aspects of what is going on so that you are aware of why we do what we are doing. And that is basically the relationship of the mind and the body, and particularly in terms of what is happening during this period of time, where people are confined, they are stressed, as if everyone is a little bit kind of in a confinement, imprisonment in a sense. And there is on top of it a sense of fear or anxiety about situations for one's personal health, for the health of people we love, for the health of our society on the global level, in terms also of economy and progress and life going in the right direction. So we don't know what is expected, and what happens, there is this anxiety. Anxiety is a fear of an unknown, a fear of something that we don't know. And the human nervous system has been built up in such a way that under situations of fear, there are reactions that happen, particularly the fight or flight response that raise our blood pressure, make us breathe in a certain way, and all other things that happen that are in association with being worried or not knowing what the future is. And so the best way, of course, to deal with it, as we said, is through transcendental meditation and other meditations. And we will do some of that right now. But we have to establish a basis for it. And that basis is going to be on the level of breathing. Because one of the things that happens is that the system starts breathing fast, normally in preparation for fighting or for flying away, for running away from a dangerous situation. So built within our nervous system, there are mechanisms that influence the way our body works. What happens is that it becomes oftentimes a vicious circle, which means the changes in the physiology influence the way the mind is set up, influence the nervous system, and therefore transforms the situation in the mind, where the mind, recognizing that the body is under stress, imagines or sees that there is a problem, and there it increases the fear and the anxiety within it. So we have to break that cycle. And the best way, the easiest way to do it for such circumstances where we cannot be sitting and talking for a long time and taking everyone's situation into consideration, is to address some key aspects of the changes that happen in the physiology. And then we can break the cycle, and actually the mind starts relaxing and starts feeling good. So what we will do is address a main aspect of this transformation, and that is the breathing, because the breathing is a vital part in our life. So without breath, without oxygen, we cannot continue to perform anything. We become unconscious. And that is why this part of the nervous system activity or control of physiological action, or physiological transformation, is very, very crucial and central in the balance between mind and body. The knowledge we will be going through comes from the ancient Vedic tradition of yoga. Yoga has different branches, different limbs, and they include breathing exercises also. It's called pranayama. And it has other aspects, of course, of dealing with the mind, with the body, with the intellect, with behavior, with yoga asanas, which are the exercises of yoga, the stretching exercises, and also with more advanced techniques such as transcendental meditation and the ability to transcend and go beyond all of this, and allowing then the body and the mind to be coordinated in a proper way. And even then we find that the breathing becomes softer naturally and easier naturally. But let's go through this key point, and we will be building up towards pranayama. But we first have to break a link that is in this vicious circle that happens during times of anxiety and stress. And the main thing is that when we are stressed, we start breathing with muscles that are in the upper part of the chest. And usually the breathing rate becomes higher, becomes faster, and the rhythms change in also abnormal directions. What we want to reestablish first is to breathe from the diaphragm. So breathing has these two, on average, grossly divided categories or parts, which is breathing with muscles of the upper chest or breathing with the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a muscle that sits between the chest, upper chest area and the abdominal area. It's a dome-like muscle. It's a powerful muscle. And when it contracts, it flattens and it pulls the lungs down. So the whole chest area is expanded. And that creates a vacuum in the lungs, which allows the air to come in. So when we breathe in, naturally, normally, it is through the diaphragm contracting and flattening and pulling air in a way into the vacuum that is created, the emptiness within the lungs, and then the air flows inwards. What happens in stress, again, I repeat, is that we start breathing with the upper muscles of the chest, which is very inefficient, and which is also happening in situations of stress and strain and fear and anxiety. And that part sets in. And as it sets in, again, I'm repeating, the nervous system and the mind are in the impression that this is a stressful period. And there is this vicious circle of reinforcing the idea that we have to be anxious, we have to be afraid, because there is danger that's coming and we have to face it. So the first thing we're going to do is go back to this diaphragmatic breathing. And so we have to enliven the diaphragm, because after a while, if the diaphragm isn't working and we are constantly under stress or strain, then it becomes weak. The muscle, the diaphragm itself, becomes weak, and all our breathing starts to become from the chest area. And that is not healthy, it's not efficient. It has been shown to create not only changes in the mind and anxiety, but it has an effect on the blood pressure, on even the digestive system, on the circulation, on the heart rate, because the chest isn't expanding and relaxing as it normally should be. And there are many, therefore, complications that arise. So with this simple basis of re-establishing the breathing from the diaphragm, we're going to start already to feel something very good. So even those who practice other techniques, like the practice, other than transcendental meditation, and there are other techniques. And also those who practice transcendental meditation, I invite them to do this with me, and then we will close the eyes and everyone will be instructed to do their own meditation. So to start is, we're going to put a hand on the chest area. Let's say you take your left hand and put it on the chest area in a very light way. Do not push hard. It's the hand on the heart area, and we feel that easily. And the other hand we will put in the abdominal area. So the abdominal area is the area where we know the diaphragm, which is the part that separates the chest from the abdominal area. This is where the limit of the rib cage. We will have the hand just below that. So the left hand is on the chest area, and the right hand is on the abdominal area. Now you can keep your eyes open and just breathe normally as you would normally breathe. So let's take a few deep breaths like that, simple breaths normally. Don't try to make it too deep. And now feel your hands moving, if they are moving. So let's do this. You can sit comfortably in a chair, and we will be doing this for a few seconds. And then I'll take you to some realization of what is happening. So let's sit comfortably. If you like to close your eyes, you can. You sit in a chair and just put your left hand on the chest and your right hand on the upper abdominal area, but not too high, just on the area below the rib cage, between the navel and the rib cage, between the navel and the diaphragm, because the diaphragm attaches at the rib cage. And then breathe, just breathe. You can breathe eyes open, or we can close the eyes to feel the movements of the hands. So breathe as you would normally breathe. What we want to notice is the movements of the hands. Is the upper hand that is on the chest moving, or is the abdominal hand moving? Now, if the upper chest is moving, it means you are mostly breathing from the chest area. If it is the lower hand that is moving, that means you are having more of an abdominal diaphragmatic breathing. So what we want to do now is see how we can take an inhalation, an inspiration, which means take air in, and allow the hand that is on the abdomen to move forward. So we allow the abdomen to bulge. So it bulges out, the hand moves out. And then when we breathe out, it is the action of the relaxation of the diaphragm towards the chest, which brings the lower hand inward. So on exhalation, which means when the air goes out, the abdominal hand moves in. So the abdomen moves in. On inhalation, the abdomen moves out. So it's as if you want to fill up your abdomen with air. It does not. The air will go through the air pathway. So don't worry about it. Don't worry that you will have a big belly. It's not going to happen. This is actually ultimately going to help the muscles to be stronger, and then you will have a stronger abdominal area and a stronger diaphragm and a better healthy breathing. So it's not going to be ending up with a bulging abdomen. So don't worry about that. Let's do this exercise. So what we want is now, with the hands, one on the chest and one on the abdomen, we want to take a breath in such a way that it's the lower hand that moves out, that bulges. So taking air in, we close the eyes and feel taking the air in with the abdomen bulging. Now we take the air in from the nose. Okay, we have our mouth closed and we take air in. Let's make a good inhalation. And then when we finish, we can pause a little, but then get the abdomen to move in and the air go out. So the abdomen as if pushes, as if it's the abdomen pushing. It's not the abdomen, it's the diaphragm, but the diaphragm pushes the air out. So in, the abdomen bulges, and then we exhale, we let the air go out through the mouth this time. For the exhalation, we make a movement of the tips forward as if you're sending a kiss to somebody. So you do like that. And you feel the abdomen moving inward, which means the bulge is reducing and you are having your surface of the abdomen move towards your back, towards the back, moving in. So let's do this one at a time. So breathing from the nose and the abdomen bulges out, breathing out from the mouth and the abdomen goes inward. So inspiration, take air in from the nose. Don't try to push it hard, just feel it softly moving in the air. Again, from the nose. Abdomen is moving out, bulging. Wait for a second. And now from the mouth, we exhale while it's coming in. One more time. Very good. So now we relax our shoulders. What we're going to do is take a little stretching. So push your arms up as if you're pushing towards the roof by taking an inhalation, take an air in. And let the arms down and exhale through the mouth. So in. And we come back to our position. Left hand on the chest area. Right hand is on the abdominal area. We close the eyes. And now our attention goes to notice the abdominal area moving. And then we see if the hand on the chest area is moving or not. In fact, it should move as little as possible, but just take it easy. Don't worry about it if it moves a little. Just your idea that the hand that is on the chest doesn't move. It will move a little, that's fine, but it's not the main movement. The breathing is happening from that taking the breath into the lungs by having the diaphragm contract, pushing on the abdominal area, and the abdominal area is pushed forward. That is what happens. And then to exhale, it's that abdominal area is pushing in, and we exhale through the mouth. So let's do that a few times again. Breathing in from the nose. Breathing out is from the mouth. The lower hand on the abdomen is moving in and out, or out when we inspire, inhale, and in when we expiration or exhalation, which means breathing out. And the left hand isn't moving. Maybe at the end of fullness of chest air, when the air is full in the chest, maybe then the upper hand moves a little, because the muscles of the rib cage of the chest will kick in at the end. It's okay, this is fine, but generally it is quite still. The left hand is quite still. So let's do it now. We take air through the nose, and our attention is to see how the lower abdominal area, the lower hand on the abdominal area is moving out, and how the chest hand is not moving. So let's do it. In from the nose. Again, in from the nose. Out from the mouth. Very good. Let's open our eyes. So it's important to do this for 5 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day. So find the time before your meditation to do this. And those who know pranayama, which we will do in the next session, but we have to establish first this proper breathing. Otherwise, pranayama will require ultimately, as we go along and advance, there are different kinds of pranayama, which means breathing, closing the nostrils and all that, which is a yoga exercise, part of the yoga system. But it normally depends on a natural breathing. And the natural, most effective breathing that is most soothing for the mind and body happens through this diaphragmatic breathing. So if the diaphragm is a little weak because we haven't been using it for a while, it is important to strengthen it. It's like any muscle. It's a muscle. It's actually a muscle. You know, you do go to the gym and you work out to strengthen your muscles. And that's a muscle like every other muscle, and it needs to be active. And that is a very powerful thing to help for the breathing, to expand the lungs, to reduce blood pressure, improve heart rate. It has effects on the mind and body, and it's very profound and very soothing. So keep doing it for 3-4 times a day. And for those who may find a little difficulty to do it sitting, you can start even by doing it lying, because by lying, it's easier to have this experience of bulging and going in as we go, as we take in air and we exhale. In air from the nose, exhale with a like this from the mouth. So do this, and then we will be meeting again tomorrow with a better setup, hopefully, and right on time. So we expect everyone to be, if possible, on time. Otherwise, if you're not, this will be kept on the Facebook, and you can come back and do it and follow the sequence and understand what's going on. Of course, if you've heard the explanations, you want to fast forward, you can fast forward to just how it works. Or if your friends want to join, they can join and hear the whole session from fresh. After that, this is a preparation for really meditation. So those who practice transcendental meditation can even do their asanas and then proper pranayama and their transcendental meditation. Those who do not practice transcendental meditation, tomorrow we will go through some techniques also that will help in the mind as well as the body, and guide you through certain steps that while others are practicing their meditation techniques, you can also start doing a mental technique, a mental awareness technique, and a physical combination of breathing that we will take sequentially. But for now, we will close the eyes and meditate a little bit for those who have different kinds of meditation. Otherwise, others who have done this, they can continue to do their breathing exercise with eyes closed and attention on the movement of the hands and on doing it in a simple way so that it becomes a second nature. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth with this little mouth forward that helps to channel the air easily. And do it at a natural speed, at a normal speed. Don't try to control too much the speed at this time. Just do it easily. So for about 5 minutes, we will do that while those who practice transcendental meditation, depending on which region they are, because we have a super radiance program where the whole world is joining in meditating at the same time in different time zones. And you can check this this in our website, on the Facebook, or even on drtonynader.com to check the timing, so that we are all synchronized in the world to keep the collective awareness at the level of settled value, which will help to create solutions and positive effects and come out of this difficulty very soon. All will be great. Be confident. Nature is powerful. Human mind, human consciousness has reached a level of development that is very, very advanced, and we will overcome this difficulty and everyone will come out strong. But we send all our support to all those involved and helping in promoting good health and balance, and particularly, of course, the medical profession, the nursing profession, the technicians, and all those that are on the forefront of the battlefield. But we are also, all of us, responsible for collective consciousness. So let us do everything we can to have a balanced life during that time and live in a healthy way and go back to ourselves. And we will guide this process as much as possible through these connections and meditations that we will be doing every day. So we'll close the eyes and meditate a little, or continue to do our breathing exercise, and just be together on that peaceful level of connectedness and wholeness.